Hi everyone, my name is Mia Mendoza. We are here doing the Panther Hot Ones episode, and we have Dr. Lajara here with us today. How are you doing today?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Thank you for having me.
All right, we're gonna start with the first question. First question is,
We're not going to talk about the chicken wings and the sauce. We're just going to start with questions right away.
Everyone that watches the Hot Ones knows about the Hot Ones.
Oh, okay,
They know what we
okay,
have
okay.
to
All
offer.
right.
We know now.
I'm sorry. It's your show. It's your show.
It's okay, it's okay.
You run with it.
You were raised in Philadelphia and graduated from Mastbaum, class of 1995. How has this shaped you?
That's a very good question. So I came from, one thing you should know about me is that my family were immigrants. We moved here to Philadelphia from the Dominican Republic, and I came here when I was 7 years old. I was the youngest of 5 boys, no sisters. So our house was very tumultuous, a lot of fighting. So I learned a lot. As a kid, as a young child, as an adolescent, as a young adult, I saw a lot of things that no young kid, teenager, young adult should see. I was exposed to a lot of things, grew up in a very tough neighborhood. And just to be clear, right, the way that it shaped me is one of the biggest things that happened to me here at Mastbaum was he wasn't a kid that went to Mastbaum, but he was my best friend. And he ended up being murdered right in front of me. He was shot literally right in front of me, so I saw it happen. And I didn't know any better. So the very next day, I went to school, right? Came right to Mastbaum. I was still in shock. And high school was a place, and Mastbaum was a place that I can get away from all those things and not have to worry about those things. So, woke up the very next day, and I was in so much shock that I didn't realize that I still had blood on my sneakers, right? But what I learned from that now as an assistant superintendent and as a teacher and as a principal was that we need to create spaces for our students and our young people to go when things like that happen. Because back in that time, and it's not to throw shade on any of the adults in that building at that time, but I walked around the entire day, and as you can see, I'm a very happy-go-lucky person. I always like making people laugh and feel comfortable around me. And that day, my affect, my face just wasn't there because I just couldn't believe that what I just saw and what happened. So walking around the whole day, now one adult, not any teacher that I had, and it was a lot of blood, looked down to see that, to ask, because if anybody would have asked me, hey, are you okay, I would have lost it, right? I would have just broken down and kind of like just let it out. And it took a friend of mine actually to see it, and he asked me. So it was a student and not an adult. So every time that I get the chance to, I tell that story so that schools and school districts know that every school, which I'm sure you have it here with Dr. Lon, is a place where students know that they're seen and heard, no matter what you're going through. So the way that experience shaped me was, I grew up in a tough neighborhood, so I had to defend myself a lot and gain respect a lot. So it taught me resilience. It taught me to never give up. It taught me that no matter what your zip code is, who you are as a person, how you identify, who you choose to believe, or what you want to be, it's possible if you believe in yourself, right, and never give up and just keep going.
That was a great message. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and do the first one.
That's right. So what sauce is this?
This is the gacho sriracha.
Ooh, I like
made
sriracha.
by a culinary shop, aka the shop on
It was made here?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Let's see. We got to eat the whole one? Oh, okay.
We're going to go into our next question. What advice would you give to your 16-year-old self?
I knew you were going to ask that question. I just knew it. So you got to give me a moment, right? Because like I said, right, I've been through a lot, so you got to give me a moment, right? Man, I would tell them that it's going to be okay, right? That and that it's okay not to be okay. One of the biggest things personally as well here was that as a senior, you know, I'm from the Dominican Republic, so you know that all Dominicans want to be Major League Baseball players, right?
Yes.
So that was my goal, that was my dream, right? And that's what I always worked towards. So I played baseball here at Mastbaum. I also played football too. I was part of the football team. I wasn't good at football, but I was very good at baseball. And my senior year, you know, working hard, trying to get into a college, trying to get a scholarship, earn a scholarship. It was a preseason, and I went to go see one of my friend's baseball game, and he attended Alumni. But we were very close friends and always worked out together. Went to go see a game of his, and my friends drove me after our practice. They had a scrimmage game, so I said, "Hey man, take me to Alumni to go see my friend Greg play." And when we went there, the field was empty. But they had canceled the game. But we didn't have cell phones back then, so I didn't know. He couldn't call me to tell me that, right? So I still went there. But then I said, "You know what? Drop me off at his house." And he lived right by 4th and the Boulevard. So they dropped me off, and as they dropped me off, my friend was like, wait, the light is green. Let me go over so I don't get stuck on the red light. So I get out, and I start to run across the Boulevard, 4th Street, and I looked out of the corner of my eye, and I saw a car just flying. And next thing you know, I got hit. I tried to jump over the hood of the car so I wouldn't get hit, but it ended up clipping me on the bottom of my leg, and I remember flipping and falling, and I had a compound fracture. It broke my tibia and my fibula. And right there at that time, I thought my life was over, right? I worked so hard my whole entire life. Every day I was doing nothing but practicing baseball and trying to be the best I could be to give myself an opportunity to give my family a better life, right? So if I make it to the major leagues, minor leagues, I make money. That was the only dream that I had. I didn't have a backup plan. So when that happened and I'm laying there and I saw my leg, I knew the scholarships were no more. And in that time, I thought my life was done and over with. And I didn't know what I was gonna do. I wake up in the hospital the very next day. And many of you might not know this history, but that was the day that happened. The next day, it was the Oklahoma City bombing that took place. And my mom came to the hospital, and I'm just bawling. I said, my life is over. I'm never gonna play baseball again. You know, they were talking about amputating my leg because I had blood clots on my leg. And my mom said, stop crying and turn on the TV. All right, so I turn on the TV. And I see people and police officers and firefighters taking out dead babies because there was a daycare there at that place. And they were taking out dead babies and little kids. And she was like, stop crying. You're still alive. You could be one of those folks there. All right? And that just like changed my whole perspective. Right? So, you know, when you see yourself, as a young adult now, you see yourself working so hard for something and then it doesn't pan out. My advice to my 16-year-old self is never give up. You know, you're gonna go through a lot of things. You're gonna fail a lot of times because what happens to us from the kids from the inner city in North Philly is that we're afraid to fail a lot of times. Sometimes we don't do things because we think about failure first and not success, right? But I believe that failure is what makes us, right? And if you're gonna fail and if you're gonna fall forward. So that's the advice that I would give my 16-year-old self is you're gonna be okay and never give up.
We're gonna eat our next one now.
Okay. And what's this now? Oh, there's the habanero hall sweep. Yes. I got this after the graduation. How you doing over there?
Well, I'm fine.
You okay? Oh, okay. Dominicans really aren't good with hot stuff. So how you doing it?
Yeah. It's not that spicy.
By the way, to the fans, Mia's Dominican as well, just like me. So she
also an immigrant.
She understands, and she's also an immigrant.
I do understand. So the next question is, name your top 3 recording artists of all time.
My top 3 recording artists.
You're a Dominican. Come on now. You better know something good.
So I'm a bachata lover. So my number one is not Romeo Santos, which I think is your number one.
He's not.
Oh, okay.
But he's one of them.
Oh,
He's one of them.
my all-time favorite is Anthony Santos. Give me five.
Yeah,
That's
see,
that's my top. Number two, now you're saying all time, I'm gonna bring this in. I'm gonna bring in Bad Bunny, because he's slowly climbed up there for me.
Okay.
And number three, which is really my number one, is Biggie Smalls. Because back in the 90s when I was here at Mastbaum, Biggie was the man. And I really think he would have been very instrumental still here in the hip hop and all that stuff. So those are my three.
I low-key expected you to name at least Prince Royce, but
Prince Royce? No way.
He is good, okay? He
Okay.
makes good music.
Okay, I respect that.
Okay.
I respect that.
We can eat it.
Oh, okay. Man, my body's starting to get hot already. I'm sweating over here. And what's this one? Ghost pepper.
Hot sauce, ghost pepper, pineapple.
Oh. You want milk?
No, do you want
No, I don't want any milk. How about water? You want some? How about ice? I
would
might
you
end
like
up.
some
I might end up sticking my head in that bucket of ice in a minute.
So, since you came to Mastbaum, I would like to ask you, what shop were you in when you came here?
Oh, I'm not going to tell you the name that we used to use, but we were. I was in auto mechanics.
Automotive?
Automotive. Yep.
We still have.
That was my shop, and I can tell you that we were innovative back then, because, and I don't know if Dr. Lon wants to, if you guys do this, or if this is an idea that we came up with and it was very effective, and I don't know how this will work here now, but we actually made our own detail shop in the auto mechanics room. So our teacher let us, we bought our own materials, and teachers would bring their cars and bring them into the auto detail shop. So then that was another way for us not only to fix cars and learn how to fix cars, but we also detail cars and wax them really nice. So, teachers a lot of times don't have the money or the time to get their cars detailed, so we would do it for free. They would give us donations, but it was just for us to get more of the materials that we needed. And then sometimes we would even do our family members and students. We let them come in, but then those folks we would charge. Teachers are free, but other folks we would charge, and then the teacher would put that into an activity fund for us to buy more stuff. So it was very popular, very popular. And this is Ay Maria. That don't sound good.
You got it. You trolling?
I'm good. I'm all right.
From being a teacher to a principal and now a superintendent, were there any challenges you had to overcome?
Oh, there were many. There were many challenges. So first, let me say that before even becoming a teacher, I had to graduate high school to have an opportunity, right? So what I didn't say earlier is that when I had the car accident, that was April. So I was out for a good part of April and May. And we didn't have asynchronous learning back then, so there was a lot of work that I didn't make up. And I believe that I was on the verge of failing. Finally came back to school early June, and just in time for graduation. I was in crutches. But I remember, being told that I was graduating. I was very happy about that, right? And when I looked at my report card, it was all D's. So I graduated from Mastbaum with all D's, right? But I look at that and I say that for the teachers to do that for me, knowing my circumstance, it meant a lot to me, because they don't realize it, but they gave me an opportunity, right? And that's what all of you should be looking forward to is just having that opportunity, right? Get that diploma, because that diploma can open so many doors for you, right? So for me, I didn't give up, right? So I knew that because I had my high school diploma, I could go to community college. So that's what I did. I went to community college. You know, when I had my surgery, I have a rod in my leg, and there was a good chance that I wasn't going to be able to play baseball ever again or run the way that I used to. So they didn't give me physical therapy. They just sent me home and said, hey, you figure it out, right? So I took it upon myself to train myself. So I went to community college. They had a gym there. They had a baseball team. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to see if I can play for their baseball team. So I took that first fall semester, and I worked my tail off, working out every day, walking on the treadmill, and stretching and doing whatever I could. And then next thing you know, by the time the spring came around, I was running like normal. So I don't know if it was somebody from above. I don't know if it was a miracle, or just this self-determination and saying to myself that I wanted to do this, right? So because I went to community college, that was the first challenge, right? Like nothing against Mastbaum, but it was so focused on making sure that I had a trade, that I was so focused on that I didn't focus on, well, what's my plan if I don't want to do that trade and want to go to college? Right. So I really wasn't equipped on how to write a paper. My math wasn't so great. So I had to take lower courses in CCP that didn't count, but just so I could get acclimated to being in college, right? So that was the first challenge. The second challenge was me and a friend of mine decided to go to Florida State University. We loved the football team. He was going to go there to play football. I was going to go there to play baseball. That was our dream, right? So with no money, we decided to move to Florida and go to school out there, right? Right. Just out of a whim, right? So we get there, and then we ended up enrolling in the community college there, Tallahassee Community College, which had a dual enrollment program with Florida State. But I got there, and right away I got homesick, right? And I only lasted there for a semester. He stayed. He went through the whole thing. He got to go to Florida State. He played on their football team, and he's now the sheriff of Broward County, Florida, right? So success story, right? So then I come back, and I go to CCP for another like half semester. And then I'm like, well, I got to go to a four-year institution. I got to go to a college. So I was supposed to go to Gwynedd Mercy University. And you know how we Dominicans do. We go to Dominican Republic at Christmas. So I was there, and I was supposed to come back for the spring semester. And I got scared. Just like I said, right? I was afraid to fail. I'm like, this is a four-year college. I didn't think I was smart enough to go there. I'm going to fail. So I let the day go by. I didn't say anything to my brother, who was living there, and I went to visit. And then when I came back, I wasn't doing anything. I didn't go to CCP. I didn't go to Gwynedd Mercy. So I was just in the street, not doing anything. And we ended up going to an event. Big fight happens. Somebody gets killed, right? So I immediately, I'm freaking out. I'm like, and that right there taught me, I'm like, I'm not built for the street. I shouldn't be here. I should have been in school right now, and this shouldn't be happening to me. So I called Gwynedd Mercy, and I talked to the baseball coach, because they were recruiting me. And I said, hey, do you think I can go into Gwynedd in August? Because this was like late May. And he was like, well, call the registrar's office and let him know. Call the registrar's office, and he's like, listen, you have a 1.89 grade point average from CCP and Florida. He said, you need at least a 2.0 to get in here. He said, take the fall, go back to CCP, and come back when you have your 2.0. And in that moment, I said to him over the phone, I said, listen, if I don't leave North Philly right now, I said, somebody's gonna kill me because of this whole thing that happened. There was dead silence on the phone for about 10 seconds. The guy's like, hold on, I'll be back. So he goes and talks to the dean of education, because I told him I wanted to be a teacher. I don't know what conversation happened there, but I do know that she said, you know what, give him a chance. So they came back and he said, listen, I don't know what got into our dean, but she wants to give you an opportunity to come here. You're gonna have some criteria that you're gonna need to meet, but you can come tomorrow so that we can, enroll you and do all the stuff that we need to do, and you're gonna stay on campus and all that stuff. I hung up the phone, dropped to my knees, and I just cried, because that to me was meant everything. I'm gonna be able to get out of North Philly, get out of all these issues, and go to school like I was supposed to. And that was the biggest challenge for me, to become a teacher, because once I did that, then to become a principal, I got my bachelor's from Good Mercy. I went back to Good Mercy, and then I got a master's degree to be a principal. And then I said, you know what, I want to do something bigger. So every time I wanted to impact more students, right? So as a teacher, I was an 8th grade teacher, so I saw about 90 students a day, right, that were under my care. As a principal, I was the principal of Stetson Middle School, and I had about 900 students under my care. So I went and got my master's because I wanted to be a principal to impact more students. Then I was the principal of Kensington High School, about 750 students. And then I went to the Cheltenham School District, and then I was a principal of 1,500 students at the high school there, right? But I always want to do more, right? My goal is to be a superintendent one day and lead a whole district, right? Like 10,000 to 100,000 students, right? Because I want to have that impact. So I went back to Gwinnett, and I got my doctorate degree. So I have my doctorate as well. But all in all, the biggest challenge to me was to make it from high school to being a teacher. And then challenges along the way, as a teacher, it was challenging to get to know students or whatever. So, but as a principal, the most challenging thing was, really getting folks to buy in, because a lot of times there's folks in education that don't love kids and aren't about kids, and it's really getting them to understand that this is about kids, right? Yeah. We understand that as adults you need certain things. But at the end of the day, it's how we're going to make our kids better, and how, again, making them seen, heard, and understood. This is Walker's Wood Seriously Hot Jamaican. Okay. Pepper sauce. That's not good. If you want milk, I'll drink some with you.
I'm chilling.
You sure?
No.
You sure?
Oh, okay. Next question. How have you worked with teachers and staff to improve student outcomes?
So it's like I said, it's really changing their mindset, right? That our students are capable. And what I say about my students, so I have about 8,000 students that are under me now, right? In the network that I lead. And it's K-8, it's a K-8 network, so I have elementary school students. And a lot of times it's really changing their mindset to know that just because they come from a certain zip code doesn't mean that they can't learn, right? And I always say that my kids are ready, willing, and able to do whatever. It's our job to do the rest, right? And I always say that,
Hey, milk.
No, sorry.
No, you sure?
I always say that students come to school with 2 book bags, right? You probably don't even bring a book bag, because I know you guys. You don't use book bags. You're too cool to use a book bag. You use a book bag?
Yeah, I do.
All right. So I'm going to use you for an analogy, right? So I always say that kids come to school with 2 book bags, right? One is the one that we as teachers and as adults, that we can see it, right? You unpack it every day. You can bring your books out, your pencil, pen, whatever it is that you need. The other book bag that kids come through is the trauma and the baggage that they have, right? None of us know, including myself, right? I was one of those students that had 2 book bags, right? And a lot of our students come with hunger, they come with trauma, they come with embarrassment, fear, abuse, right? They come with all those things, but we don't see it. It's invisible. Right, so that's that, and I say that as educators, that's the one that we need to help them unpack and help you unpack as kids, right? And the work is I visit schools every week, every day I'm in schools. All right, I visit 2 schools a day
Why haven't I seen you on Mastbaum then?
because Mastbaum is not one of my schools. But I'll come one day to visit you in class and see you guys in action. I'll have to make that
You should.
make that
Come
possible.
visit my culinary show.
Oh, culinary, okay. So, constantly visiting schools, constantly giving my message of the vision that I have, that all of our students are capable, ready, willing, and able. Working with principals and teachers with these new curriculums that we're rolling out for math and for ELA. Don't touch your eyes.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Wait, no.
Oh,
I'm
no.
chilling. I'm chilling.
So, and just really being focused and making sure that we support our teachers and train them to make sure that our students, receive the best education and the high quality, impactful education that they deserve. And we've seen a lot of growth so far in making that happen for student outcomes. Oh, what happened? You sure? Okay. Don't touch your face.
What message do you have for all the high school seniors about your graduation?
Oh. So the message that I would give them is people's opinion of you, of what they think you are, should not become your reality, right? And what I mean by that is that you're going to have a lot of people judging you as you get older about your capabilities, about what you can and can't do. And it's really about you believing in yourself, right? So as a high school principal, especially at Kensington High School, I used to always tell my kids, like, listen, me believing in you is not enough. Because if you don't believe in yourself, then there's nothing that I can do or say that's going to make it happen for you. And I'm going to tell you guys right now that life is going to knock you down 1,000 times. You need to get up 1,001, right? Still as an adult today, I've gotten knocked down and I still have to find a way to get up.
Thank you for coming to the Panther Hot Ones. Sorry.
Panther for life.
Panther Hot Ones. Sorry, I said that backwards.
Panther Hot Ones. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did a great job,
See
Mia.
you guys next time.
All right, thank you.
All right, Dr. Lajara, thank you.
I know what to wear, and I just can't resist. Yeah, I just can't resist. Do what I do, I ain't got nothing to prove. So baby, roll with this. Yeah, baby, roll with this. I could do this all day. I could do this all